It takes steadfast commitment to succeed as a seller of private label goods using FBA services, and today's guest is a prime example of that commitment. So what can we learn from him? Well, you're going to find out. From the West Coast to the world, this is FBA Millionaires. Welcome to FBA Millionaires. This is the program, as you know by now, that is geared toward helping you pursue your goal of earning a seven-figure income selling professionally on Amazon via fulfillment by Amazon, otherwise known as FBA, right? Hi, my name is Jeff Allen. Good to have you back into the fold, and we really do appreciate you. You are what powers this program. It's not my big mouth, and it's not the mouth of this other guy who really does make all the difference in the world, because if it weren't for him, quite frankly, there really would not be a show, and you wouldn't have this program to listen to. He is our resident sales monster up in Northern California. Welcome in, Mr. Will Moffitt. Will, hello, sir.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jeff. Jeff, you give me way too much credit, man.
No, come on, man. I give you the credit that you're due, and you're going to accept it because you know how to accept a compliment the way a gentleman would. But anyway, man, how are you? How's things going?
I'm wonderful. Ate a lot of food. I think I need to work out. This Thanksgiving was beautiful. Spent some good time with the family.
I did too. And for those people listening in, yeah, this is being produced right after Thanksgiving of 2017. And man, always great memories and great to take a little time off. But you know, Will, it's really great to be back in the saddle now and kind of back in the studio working with you a little bit. I'm in Southern California. You're in Northern California, and you've lined up another great guest for us to talk to today.
Yeah, we have Jamie Harris here. Jamie, how's it going?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I can tell it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely. I'm glad all is well. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was great. Ate too much food, of course. The wasteland expanding, but hey, we have Black Friday and Cyber Monday going on now, so that's all good. It's
there we go. And nothing like money to heal everything, right?
That's right.
That's right.
I can hear those cash registers in the background and ringing. And as Jamie said, he's got us on one screen on Zoom, and then he's got Seller Central probably open up on the other side or something. It's telling him all about the business coming into his account today. And Will, I'm going to dish it off to you. I know you've got a few things you want to ask him just to kind of break the ice a little bit.
Yeah, Jamie, let's break the ice a bit. I guess we can start with talking about the scale of your Amazon business. How many products do you have in your store right now, and what's your monthly sales looking like?
So we have roughly, including variations and things like that, we have roughly 25, 28 items that we currently sell. Of course, the vast majority of sales probably come from like 3 of those. Just keep that in mind, guys. Monthly sales, we're seasonal a little bit, but right now we're doing about 300,000 a month, and we get up to 450 or so, hoping to break 500,000 for December.
Oh, Jamie is killing it, Jeff.
Man, I'll say, my goodness, I'm just rubbing my hands here and quietly sobbing to myself, thinking, that's going to be me one of these days. That's going to be me.
Definitely. So what type of, I don't want to, if you don't want to say product
Sure.
categories or anything, as far as wholesale, private label, what are you into?
We're private label mainly, and we do some wholesaling. Granted, it's been pretty small, although we've had success, around Christmas time. So we'll see this year. Last year we had great wholesale, but anyways, we're private label. We tend to be patio, lawn and garden is kind of our bread and butter. But we've branched out into other categories as well. Recently, probably about 6 weeks ago, started a new brand, a new business going into the arts and crafts category. So that's new for us, and it's exciting and it's fun. So seeing the growth there as well.
I want to get into a little bit here in a while, Jamie and Will, about how Jamie really, how he picks his products a little bit and how his team works with him on that. But did you decide from the very beginning, Jamie, in your Amazon career, that selling private label products was really the way to go for you? And if you did, what kind of help, training, or consultation did you receive to get started?
Sure. Yeah. So I don't know, I think it was back in like 2000, 2001. I read this newsletter about private labeling vitamins or something like that. And I thought, wow, that's just fantastic. These guys were buying a bottle for a dollar, $2, and then selling it for $40. That blew my mind. So ever since about 2001, I got the idea that, private label, your own brand was the way to go. Of course, back then you could get on Amazon and do that. And honestly, I didn't know you could private label on Amazon until probably 2014, in all honesty. So that seed was planted in my mind. So basically for 10 years, 13 years, I kept trying to find a way to get into it. And then eventually I stumbled across this obscure medical forum. One night it was 7:00 and I was sitting in the lab. I used to be a chemist. So I'm sitting in the lab, working away, got a test experiment going, and I can't go home. It's 7 p.m., not 7 a.m. And all of a sudden this medical journal pops up from a Google search. I looked through it and then heard about Amazing Selling Machine. Of course, that program was closed, but the seed was planted, and I watched a lot of the free training right away. Got my LLC, and I just knew it was what I wanted. I mean, it's been something I'd searched for, so it was like finally there. Of course, I don't do anything with vitamins, but nevertheless, the idea it was there, and I just knew it made sense.
You had talked about, going back to 2000, the early 2000s, when you really started kind of pursuing this. Have you been on Amazon that long selling?
No, honestly, I didn't know. I thought what you bought on Amazon was from Amazon, right? I didn't know that there were third-party sellers, honestly, until May of 2014 when I tripped across that forum. And I was like, oh my God, there's third-party sellers on Amazon. Okay, that makes sense. That's the way. Not mail order or something like that, but yeah, that's when I honestly learned that I could sell on Amazon as a private seller.
Wow.
And from chemist to Amazon seller, do you still perform in that profession?
No. I left the corporate world. So I worked with a $1 billion corporation, dealing with chemicals that go into paint, actually. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun. We invented a lot of stuff. But I left that in 2015, actually, April 2015. So started selling and heard about Amazon in May of 2014 and was out of my job at home bugging my wife in April 2015.
That's amazing. That's the American dream.
Yeah. It only took me, since 2001, trying to find an opportunity and tripping, stumbling across tons of different things till I actually found something that I truly believed in, which was this model.
Maybe so, but Jamie, think about it, and Will too. Because we've had a chance to talk on this program so far with people who have been with Amazon, selling on Amazon since 1999, 2000, what have you. And then we've had also a number of people who really have only been selling Amazon FBA for a couple of years. And Will, I know, your name obviously pops into mind first and foremost. But I mean, to find that kind of success that you're having right now in such a short space of time, to me, is pretty phenomenal.
Very phenomenal. It just takes so much for normal businesses. It takes so much time. And, sometimes we have to stumble across different ideas and opportunities to make that hit like Jamie did, because he's been searching for a while and he found the right one.
Yeah, I mean, it's, everyone's like, oh, you got lucky perhaps, but I mean, I struggled. I mean, I honestly, for that whole year, I stayed up to 3 a.m, got up, was at work at 9 a.m. every day, so, and I made a lot of mistakes. I had failures, but I was just, when you feel it in your bones, you just feel it and you just go for it. And I just wouldn't let anything stop me. I mean, so I could have quit 100 times, but yeah, no, I just knew this was the way. So I pushed through.
Well done, Jamie. Well done, man. So tell me this, speaking about, how you got in and the different, of course, there's so many different products to choose. People get into the analysis paralysis, and
right.
How do you choose your products for your brands, or if you choose individual products, or do you like to create niches? How do you work, and how do you choose your products?
It's a big question. So I'll do my best to break it down into a few parts. First of all, you want to, in my mind, pick a product that you have some affinity for. Okay. So, I mean, if it's something that you know nothing about and you don't care to learn anything about it, that's probably not going to be a good fit no matter what it is. So yeah, maybe you don't know what the product, is at this time, but if you're willing to learn, then it could be a good product. So I don't want to discount that. But when I'm looking for where the customers are. So of course there's always looking at the best sellers and all that. But I like to see, if you want me to get in the details a little bit here about what I'm doing when I pick a product. I can dig in pretty deep here.
Dig in for us then. That sounds awesome. You don't have to give up all your little special sauces,
No.
but well, I always say, if anybody thinks they can copy or do what somebody else does, like for example, if somebody has a garlic press and they tell you they have a garlic press, you guys shouldn't think you can go in and sell garlic presses. It's not like that in 2017. Go ahead and
and that's a great point. So I look through the best sellers, right? Of course, there's different tools out there. Jungle Scout's one that I'm really liking now, but I really like, honestly, Amazon itself. So there's a little trick. I don't know, you guys might have heard about it, where if you go into Amazon, you select a category. I always set up, in the search, you select the category. Then I do a dash and then just like 6 random letters, right? And then hit search. So that dash with 6 random letters tends to give you a good view, so to speak, of the good sellers, beyond the top 100 of what's selling on Amazon, but in that category. So you want to have it in a specific category. Then I go ahead and then dial it down into a price range. So in my case, if anything's less than $20, it gets really painful. So I see people jumping in all the time selling $10 product, and it's so painful to do that. I have a couple of $10 products, and honestly, it's just they do well, they're profitable. But if they were, $20 products, $40 products, it's just so much easier. You get so much more money. But anyway, so after diving in, like I told you, that dash and the random letters, searching it, getting my price range down. So there's that little minimum max button down there on the left-hand side of the Amazon screen. Search again, apply it. And then I just scroll through and I just start looking and seeing what I see there. And a lot of times, you'll see the generic grill or garlic press or whatever, and you'll look at that and you just think, okay, maybe there's an opportunity there, but probably not. If you can find a really unique garlic press that solves the problems that people are looking for with their current garlic press, then you could have a hit. But the key is you have to be different. I mean, you can't just be the same as everybody else. A lot of people, they'll go to Alibaba, they'll see the exact same product that they see on Amazon, somebody else selling and doing well. They'll launch it, they'll put the exact same pictures, and honestly, they won't do very well. You need to be a little bit better, whether the product's actually better or whether you can create an image showing a different view of the product that makes it seem better, and then in your title and bullet points, you bring that out. That's where you can really start killing it with some really generic products. But you have to, I can't emphasize enough, you have to be unique, and you have to have a strength that the other competitors don't currently have. So I kind of circled around a lot there, kind of digging in and kind of coming out, but hopefully you catch the gist that I like to just kind of scan, and a lot of people just won't take the time and scan. And when you scan, that's when your brain starts, getting ideas, and then you start seeing things, and you then go into the reviews, right? Okay, what's the problem? What are everybody saying in the 1 and 2 star and 3 star reviews? Is there that same issue coming up that all of a sudden there's a product available that can solve those problems?
Well, there you go.
That's when you got a winner.
It's very much like being on guard to finding that better mousetrap that's out there. You find a great mousetrap, it catches mice, but what are some of the issues that people have when they catch that mouse? Then what? What after that? And then finding that mousetrap that it goes above and beyond. It's a bit cliche, but the fact is your points are very well taken, Jamie. Jamie Harris is joining us today on the program, FBA Millionaires with Will Moffitt and yours truly, Jeff Allen. When we come back, what I want to do after the break is I want to kind of take a step back, starting from a clean slate, as it were, and we're going to do that when FBA Millionaires comes back right after this.
Getting the funding you need to grow your business can be challenging. But our friends at UpFund make it super easy. See how much you qualify for in 30 seconds and have your inventory funded in just days. Check out upfund.io to get started today. That's upfund.io.
The first thing you need to do after listening to FBA Millionaires is to join the FBA Millionaires Club so you can stay connected with everything that's going on here, what Will and I are thinking about, what we're doing, the shows we're planning, and some of the advice and guidance that we can pass along to you just by being a member. You don't have to be a millionaire to join. That's the really cool thing about it. All you need to do is stop by the website, FBAMillionaires.com, and look for information about the club. Sign up by just a short little form, send that in, and then we'll keep you on top of everything that's going on. Like I said, we've got some freebies too we'll fling your way as well. Jeff Allen, Will Moffitt, along with special guest Jamie Harris here on FBA Millionaires today. Jamie, let's start from a kind of position of a blank slate. Some of us who might not be selling necessarily private label at this time, and we're looking at growing our business, maybe doing it in a big way, but we're not exactly sure how to get started or what's required or really what we have to do first.
Sure. So the blank slate is the perfect spot to start from. I've seen so many people that have networked with, and they've came out with a product that they were either in love with, or that they had a friend that was selling it, or they had a good line for a product. And that's just the wrong way to go. You want to start with a product that actually has an audience of customers. So if you've got something already in your mind before you start doing the search, you can pretty much guarantee that either going to be after the curve already happened and you're coming in late, or you're just picking the wrong product. So it's perfect to start from a blank slate in product selection.
Will, just out of curiosity, where would you go? Is there an online resource, for example? I mean, you mentioned Alibaba, which is one that comes up time and time again. Is there another avenue, or do you think that's kind of a good place to go as far as getting some ideas for products? Or should you really actually kind of, look to see what it is that you have in your checking account or what you've got on credit that you can use in terms of planning your budget first in order to do this? I mean, how much money are we talking about? Well, I mean, should we be thinking on those terms first before we even get started in the research phase?
So there's a couple of things you want to look at. One is your budget. The goal is to not spend too much money because you're going to end up needing a lot of money to scale. So what you want to do is once you find a product, and it can be any product because nobody knows what product is going to work or not. And so everybody's pretty much taking a stab at it. Now there's different criterias that you can have to make things better. Like, you want to look at markets. And when you look at that market, you want to make sure there's a depth to the market, meaning there's enough money to spread around. Or some people have strategies to where they want to go in lower competition and they want to collect many products with so many sales per day. There's a lot of different strategies to go with, but you're gonna have to build your strategy based upon your budget. But I would definitely, focus on something that you may have an expertise in. If like not a passion product. Passion products generally don't sell well, but it depends. So I'm not saying don't go for a passion product, but you want to really do your research on a market and make sure there's enough eyeballs on that market. And the way you can see if there's enough eyeballs is first, test a product. You can maybe say go to Alibaba and see if you can find somebody where you can get 50 units. Get 50 units of it, or maybe go to the store. Go to the store and buy a few units, right? And maybe see if it works with wholesale, or see if maybe you can bundle it. And what you want to do is turn on PPC and see how many eyeballs you're getting, what are people searching for, or how many impressions are you getting? And if that thing sells right away, by just throwing a product on and turning on PPC, you may have a winner. So you want to first, if you can order a few products, if it goes good, order another, maybe 100, test it out. Then I wouldn't go to 500 or 1,000. I would probably order 300, test it out, because sometimes if you're doing private label, quality of manufacturers might switch up on you, or the reviews might turn bad on you and you just ordered 500. So gradually work your way up. And it's a process. So, some people are lucky and they're able to go to 0 to 100 in 3 seconds, but this is your money on the line. It is competitive out there, and you want to make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. That's, I guess, I don't know if I can add a little bit more to that, but that's kind of like my insight.
Well,
that's awesome. Well, I agree with, sorry to cut in, guys, but that's exactly how I started. I tend to start with 20 units or 80 units. And the products where I've started off with like 400 or 500 units, they actually don't perform as well as the products that I started off with less than 100.
Is that right?
Yeah. All my best sellers, I start up. My current bestseller, which is just totally killing it, that product probably does about $200,000 a month. I started with 80 units of that one.
Wow.
So,
yep. My first product, I started with 180 units, and it was a loan that I took out. Had bunny ears for pockets, and took out a loan, and my wife didn't tell my wife because she would kill me. And I worked too hard at work, and I said, let's do it. And it worked. So testing, if I would have put $5,000 on a bad product and made a bad bet, my wife would have killed me. Guys, make sure you test, and spend as least money as possible with your test. Because let's say you can fail one time and just say, okay, you spent $200 or $300, and then you failed a second time, you spent another 300 or say 400, and say your budget is 2,000. Well, in that third product, let's say you hit. Then it's like, wow, okay, I just sold. Let me order a couple extra 100. You still got a little room in that budget to order a couple 100 of that winner. And then that works out. Then boom, now it's time to start with the bigger orders and try to find out how to get some money. And you can leverage that money, or you might have to scale slowly, but you're in there.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, yep. Let me jump in, Will, real quick. What is the largest amount of money, Jamie? If you don't mind, you can even give us a range that you've spent on a new product launch from the time that you sourced it. Maybe you bought those, initial test items, test quantities, let's call them that. And then, you throw in your marketing budget and then all the other things that go along with that, pay-per-click, whatever you want to take and include on that, on a product that you have in your store.
Well, a rule of thumb I tell people is $5,000 would be great to have. All right. So if you've got $5,000, you can do everything you need to do. But honestly, with half of that, you can make great things happen. My very first product, I literally started with 20 units, and let me see, those cost me about $4 each or so, plus shipping. So it's a couple $100 there. I spent a couple $100 to get an LLC going. I highly recommend if you're going to do this as a business, treat it as a business from day one. And that's what I did. I got the LLC the very first day. So that was another $200 there. Honestly, I was slow doing PPC with that, but if you figure at least a few $100 just for a week, $10 a day or so, $10 to $20 a day for a week, just to run PPC and see the results would be good. So really, if you've got $800, you should be able to test a product, depending on the price range, of course. If it's a little bit more expensive product, maybe it's $1,500, but somewhere in that range, you can get going.
Jamie, tell us a little bit, about, in addition to finding a great product to sell, what is it that we have to do to make our product really hit with the buying customers? Now, you have shared, and Will has shared, a lot of, I think, really helpful information on testing and to kind of help us make sure that what it is that we want to sell is going to be something that we can market, something that we're going to be able to attract buyers with. But once you get it up there and going, what is it that we can do to really take our sales to the next level for any particular item that we have that is a hit that we know? Is there something in particular that maybe few Amazon sellers do right, or maybe that you have used? This could be a strategy or a tactic now that really allows you to take and put your sales in hyperdrive, that allows you to really see some fantastic results and see them relatively quickly.
Okay. So first, I never want to be just a product business, right? Because those are just kind of cash cows that you come in, you make some money, and then it's gone. I'd rather be a brand, right? So I come in with the idea of, okay, I'm launching a product, but ultimately I'm building a brand. Mm-hmm. And what's going to be my second or third product that I help round out this existing product with to further build this brand. I want a real business. I don't want just to sell one-off products, on Amazon. Mm-hmm. So I start with that in mind. But then once you got a product and you got it going, I can't emphasize enough the images. Okay, so your main image is critical, but what people don't focus on is that it's actually the thumbnail of your main image that's critical, right? Because people don't see your image as it's huge. They just see a little thumbnail of it when they do the Amazon search. So your product, your image has to be beautiful as a thumbnail. You have to make it look really large. And one of the things I always say to my designers is I want to look at this product as if I'm a mouse looking at it, just like in total awe, mm-hmm. just, wow, this is beautiful. It's amazing. That way, if I'm looking at it from that perspective of being a mouse in awe, looking at the monolith in 2001, whatever it is, that way, when it's a thumbnail, it can really relay that same thing to the customers they're searching. So your images are critical. And the other thing I see is that a lot of people don't test, right? So I come from a science background, a chemist, and literally, with that organization, we had billion-dollar successes, literally just changing one little thing, testing it, and seeing what happens. And it takes time. It can be uncomfortable trying to create new images. Well, what can I change the bullet point here? But ultimately, that's all it is. This whole Amazon game is just an experiment. You just do one little change and see the result. If the result got better, leave it. If the result got worse, go back to how it was before and test again. And just keep testing and testing, keep making little changes till you get it right where it needs to be. Of course, that doesn't do everything, right? But that'll get you where you have your listing optimized. The other thing that comes in as you're doing all this is the reviews. If you don't have the reviews, it's no matter what you do, it's going to be a struggle. You can get sales going with low reviews. I always tell people, do whatever you have to do to get 3 reviews right out of the gate. Okay. And then after that, try and work as hard as you can to get to 10 reviews. The review game is hard. Amazon's got really strict rules on that. And personally, the best way that I've seen to ever get the reviews is a product insert. Emailing the customer through the automated systems is great, but people can opt out of that now. But if you don't have a product insert, you're going to struggle. And honestly, like I said before, I've got 27, 25 products, and a lot of those products that are struggling, I don't have a product insert in there, at least one that I haven't optimized the product insert, let's say, and that's probably why that product is struggling. So having product inserts to get reviews, having awesome images that are thumbnails, and just building an audience, building a brand. So building a brand and building an audience, whether it's a Facebook audience, an email list, you've got to build raving fans. You've probably all read that book, but you have to have the thought in mind from day one that I'm building a brand. I'm going to have fans that are looking for my brand for not only this product, but future products. So
I had a product in the past. It was one of those products where, the customer had to have pretty much some knowledge to use it or they'll get frustrated. And so, I found ways to create like really cool guides and tips and tricks and, like you said, Jamie, adding the actual request, not a request for a review, but the insert inside the retail box. You have to get creative,
Yes.
Get creative, be different. It's a user experience. Think about when you open an Apple iPhone case, right? They got that quality box. You can have a cheap product, but if your perception and you give a immaculate perception to your product, it can actually mean the world to a customer, as long as the product is usable at least, not look cheap. But there's a lot of cool things you can do. So you answered my next question, Jamie. And so do you have any other type of advice or things that you've learned, or what is it that other Amazon sellers can do, whether they're trying to take it to the next level on a smaller scale or a bigger scale? What can they do to 10x their business in 2018? And it could be anything that maybe you've learned, that maybe you took a hit and it's like, oh shoot, I just lost a little bit of money on this product, but I'll never make that mistake again. And this mistake that I fixed just increased my business.
Yeah. So first of all, know the rules. Okay. So if you don't know the rules, get in there and read the Amazon terms of service, read all that. Know the rules. Okay. I had a big hit today, actually. Just not knowing the rules, right? The rules changed on me and I wasn't reading my emails. I missed it. Turns out you can't change the price on a lightning deal now on Cyber Monday. If it's Cyber Monday or Black Friday lightning deal, you can't change the price 24 hours before. I changed it 23 hours before and automatically got canceled. I probably lost out on about $100,000 in sales today.
Oh boy.
It's a mistake. I'll still sell the inventory. It's not like I have unlimited inventory. I'll still sell through everything I have over the Christmas holiday. But it'd been nice seeing that number for one day, But I guarantee I'll never make that mistake again, right? And the same thing with a million other things. It's the little details, honestly. A lot of people do the big stuff right, but then they just kind of glance over the details, and that's where it gets you. I wish I could come up with more examples.
Well, no, I mean, but you're right, because a lot of people come to me and say, "Can you teach me Amazon?" And there's no easy way to say, "Let me just teach you." Like, right? It's like it's the littlest detail.
Well, I think it's I think Will, you kind of bring up a good point. Anybody can sell on Amazon. Anybody really can do it. I mean, all you have to do is you learn how to list a product and you put it up there and boom, away you go. If you've got an account open, if you figure out how you can do that and maybe you don't mind paying Amazon the $40 a month plus all the other fees that come along with FBA, then it's easy to do. But you're right, though. And, you're talking about the some of the nitnoy details, and there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot more stuff than meets the eye that people need to see. A lot of that between the lines and behind the lines stuff that you need to understand. And really, you can go through that Seller University course that they give you there on Amazon. I think for starters, it kind of helps out answer a lot of your big questions. But I think some of it just kind of comes with experience and making some mistakes, I think, at the end of the day.
Comes with losing some money.
Yeah, that's right, man.
We don't want you to lose too much, though.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, you have to, if you go in with the mindset that I'm going to treat this as a real business, then you do all the right things, right? Starting off as an LLC right away. Okay, so I'm treating this as a real business. I'm doing that. I'm going to have a professional seller account. I'm going to sell millions of dollars, so I might as well spend the $40. It's not a waste. It's almost a game of having that first month, that first $40 actually be paid for, where you don't actually have to pay for it out of your own pocket. Just if you focus on this as a real business, all the details automatically just kind of fall in place. Have real awesome pictures, have it sound right, have it look right. If you're just treating this as a hobby or a game, everybody's going to see it when they look at your listing. Yeah. Be professional. There's a million things that go along with that, but that's the bottom line, I guess.
Well, Jamie, this has been a great conversation. It's been very enlightening, very helpful. And who better to learn from than someone who has had a lot of success doing this? I mean, you started out, just a couple of years ago, really a little bit more than that from the time that we are producing this program. And you have you've learned, you've lived, you've had a lot of successes. You've got some great products, I'm sure, in your store. We don't know exactly what those are, but we know that you found success in a couple of key categories that you really like. And we want to thank you so much for taking some time out of what is really a busy time for you here in the fourth quarter and really during the holiday selling season. For anyone selling on Amazon, your participation in the program has been just fantastic. We want to thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me here. You're very welcome.
Jamie Harris and Will, a great find on your part. Thanks again, man, for setting this up. It's just a fantastic discussion.
Thank you, Jeff. You guys are awesome.
Well, we appreciate you, Will, and that's going to put the brakes on this edition of FBA Millionaires. Thanks once again to our guest today, Jamie Harris. And don't forget to show us a little love, if you would, over there on iTunes. Give us a nice rating if you can, if you like the program. If there's something that you think that we could do a little bit better, if you've got some specific questions that you would like us to ask a future guest on this program, all you have to do is let us know there in your ratings or in the comments section on iTunes, or you can simply send us a note there. Just hop on over to the website, FBAMillionaires.com, and there's an information form that you can fill out. Send us your comments, your suggestions. Show us any love that you think that we might be able to benefit from. Give us any encouragement. Just let us know your thoughts, because this program really is geared toward helping you in your Amazon business, helping you become as successful as you possibly can be. Once again, that's FBAMillionaires.com, where, by the way, you can also join the FBA Millionaires Club. So once again, my name is Jeff Allen, along with my buddy Will Moffett up in Northern California, and we appreciate you listening to FBA Millionaires. Until next time, thanks again for listening.
Thanks, everybody.